We wanted to make an artwork that nobody would want to stare at for too long. We wanted to paint a nightmare. After the initial brief, we knew that the film had an underlying tone of obsession, death, fear. And this film, Irae, marked our second collaboration with Night Shift Studios. So we knew that we had a lot of space to experiment. We wanted to try a practical art, maybe something like an oil or canvas this time. So we wanted to achieve a Renaissance style artwork, blending it with Indian funerals and death rites. Coming on to Renaissance style paintings, there was a certain amount of eeriness, there was a anatomical perfection that we had to achieve, and all of the characters had a certain extent of pain, agony and fear in their eyes, and that actually aligned to what the film was speaking about and the title Irae. So we wanted to make the Day of Wrath in a painting. We were scouting for an artist who could perfectly bring in the style and blend in such concepts together. We ended up on an artist named Jojo. He was a fine art student. So with Jojo, we had an extensive research. We were looking at a lot of death arts and black paintings and Francisco Goya inspired artworks as well. So that's how we ended up on making this artwork, which took around 3 months of our time, which is not a usual process. And we had to mix in 2 techniques like underpainting, chiaroscuro method, and also washing technique, which was prominently used in watercolor. So these techniques, coming on to underpainting, we started off with shadows, then ended up making the highlights happen. And we don't get to judge how the painting would look like until the last stroke was done. And this eventually made the process faster, and we had to mix in liquid, turpentine and things like that so that the whole drying process is quicker than we planned. And in totality, there had to be a certain amount of eeriness that the painting had to communicate. So as you see here, we've tried to encapsulate the whole film into this art, and symbolically the whole painting is drawn in a circle so that it represents from where the film starts, the well. You see the 16th day ritual as per Hindu mythology, the death rites happening of Kani, and you can see the corpse of Kani fully drenched in water. She's sitting on the throne, and there happens to be an anklet tied onto the leg, and towards the right you can see Madhusudan Poti throwing something at Kani. That could make sense once you see the film and visit the artwork again. So the whole water that drips down of Kani's body is washing this area onto the floor, and you see all of the characters revolved around Kani's life is around her in fear, pain and agony, which states what Irae is all about. And you can see there are 2 people playing music during her funeral, which is also connected to the film. And there is Kiran's character being pulled back by his hair. You can see Elsama mourning for Kani's death. After all of this, you can also visualize Pranav watching all of this in peace as if this is a nightmare, holding the hair slide or the clip that is connected to the film. So there is a specific detail about this painting that we found to be pretty odd. Was one peculiar character that looked directly at the viewers, and we remember even the artist telling us that he did not know who the character was amongst all of the other characters that was linked to the film. And that was from where we started our campaign. We thought this character was drenched in all of the sorrow and pain that dripped down of Kani and from the rituals. We believe that is a detail beyond our explanation as well. As fans of practical art, we always wanted to try out different mediums, different colors, textures, and we believe that this was one of those projects where we had the space, we had the time to make something so monumental, something so timeless. That's how we ended up making this. So why we chose oil painting is because it had a certain texture, it had a certain blending, and we believe this oil painting art is something that is growing, which means that it is dynamic, it's evolving as it dries, as it blends in more, as there is more oxidation happening. So that was one amongst the reasons that we chose this medium, and we were excited to play with something like this. During the course of painting, there were actual instances where the artist would come up and tell us that he felt uneasy staring at the painting and there was something absurd about it. Even we as a team has felt that while you look at the painting would look back at us.